We have another video starting, and I'm probably gonna be a bit of a jerk and then post this 2 months after the last one that we did. And then, yeah. Even though we literally started recording about a minute later. Anyway.
Yeah, and then we're gonna put plenty of ads in the video, and then we're gonna sell t-shirts and Doritos.
No. We are not putting ads. When I wanna give myself a boost by watching my own videos, I don't want to be interrupted by ads. That, and if I made money from ads, I'd have to add that to my tax papers.
Think about Ahab 96, the video game. Okay, I'm getting way too. So, yeah, what's gonna happen here? Well, who the fuck knows? This is a leap into the unknown. Something happens and shit happens.
This is a leap into our psyche, even though, well, my psyche is being distracted by some comic books right now. Oh, well.
Like he's thinking about slapping a bitch for reading said comic books.
What?
No, nothing.
Great, I'm gonna find out when I re-listen to it. And probably not care. Anyway, so we're talking about people like who just try to be jerks just for the sake of being jerks, who just go, blah, revel, blah.
You know, the only people who I've ever met who go blah, revel, blah.
Like who want to go talk to their friends and go, hey, I went and talked to my boss and told him to go screw himself. Ah. I'm so cool.
I always go blah. You know, the only people who I've really met that tend to act like that are the sort of people who are like, oh yeah, got drunk at a party, bro. And then I fucked a chick, yeah. And I'm turning into the anti-thinker slightly when I say this, but I don't know. That's the sort of people that I see that tend to go blah, revel.
Yeah. When I listen to these people, I just think, I feel my brain cells committing suicide.
I think I heard my brain cells cooking suicide. It's a meat. It's a joke on suicide. Fuck it.
Anyway.
Thank you and good night.
Anyway, so another bit of a topic. I'm trying to remember. We were gonna talk about something. It was about. It was about. I think we were gonna talk about nostalgia. Like, try to go a little deeper into that.
Yeah, we went into that before, but then we just kind of faded out. But I'm going back into nostalgia.
Well, that's the point of these videos.
Oh.
Just.
Well, it kind of depends on nostalgia, though, because, like, in some cases it can be a good thing because, you can relive childhood Wii nostalgia. But at the same time, you shouldn't let that cloud your judgment to, I speak more so for franchises now more than ever because, like, because especially excuse me for a second, but considering like a lot of games nowadays tend to pander to their audience, I speak more so for games like Mario and Sonic. Like in Mario's case, it's just pandering back to, Mario 3 and all that. With Sonic, it's just Green Hill Zone every single game from Colors onward, and it's just something that I really don't want to see for the fact that because when you were a kid, like you had your own sense of nostalgia, like it was. Or at least for the early 2000s anyway, it was a time in which, it was like, I guess, darker and edgy in a kind of a nu metal sense. Because, like, it wasn't quite, hardcore brutal death. But, but it wasn't quite cutesy and cartoony like the 80s,
Mm-hmm. There were more and more options.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it, actually. And again, I'm not sure whether or not it's the fact that in this internet generation, like, there's, like, it kind of united a whole bunch of voices who are, hungry for their nostalgia, and that, as a result, it kind of stagnated, like, the way a lot of people tend to think about these sort of things, but it's just something that worries me, because considering the fact that the next generation probably isn't going to have their own nostalgia, and it's just going to be, bleaching off.
Like, another thing, I think I heard this happen to the comic industry, where they weren't really making new things for the younger crowd, for them to enjoy.
Would this be like now, or that's
back in the 90s, if I remember right?
No.
Anyway, let's actually talk about franchises.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
You want to start off with any?
well, here's kind of one thing, here's a little, we'll tie this together with some of my nostalgia for the Donkey Kong series franchise. I should mention that, when I was young, the earliest game I remember was Donkey Kong Country. Like, I'd been playing that since I was a sperm. And, I remembered I never played 2 or 3. And then went on to 64, so a lot of complaints people had about Dixie Kong and Kiddy Kong I never had because, never played them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then there's, like, this big drought of Donkey Kong and then, internet. But, and I think a big thing with a lot of franchises...
Actually, that kind of leads me...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
Well, again, like, the one thing with franchises... Oh. Am I coming through, or...?
You are coming through.
Anyway. Oh, just wanted to make sure, because I thought I was going to cut out there for a second, but, the one thing about franchises that... I'm speaking more so for, like, again, I'm not sure whether it's down to profitability, but the thing about a lot of franchises, because, like, there's a lot of people who have been... wanting to be resurrecting their dead franchises. I speak mostly for the Gex franchise, if you've ever played them. Like,
no, I haven't.
PS1. Like, there's a very huge cult following for those games, and at the same time, like, a lot of them tend to ignore them purely for the fact that, because it doesn't sell big Call of Duty numbers, which is understandable, I guess, but, there are a lot of concepts in those games that I feel could really be done well, and I think Gex, more so than ever, could have, like, a very profitable thing, because again, the games took place in the media dimension, which parodied all sorts of, TV, movies, and all that sort of thing. And I feel like today, with the whole internet being a form of media thing, I feel like it could probably do a whole shitload of parodies on that, and actually come up with something pretty funny with, comedian Dana Gore doing all the bloody writing and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, call it wishful thinking if you want, but it's just something that I think could really be quite a successful franchise in this day and age, or at least in the sense of a parody game that's actually funny, unlike a certain Deadpool game out there.
Oh, yeah. There's actually this game I'm saving up for, Conker's Bad Fur Day for the 64. That's one thing.
Oh, yeah.
Those games that do try to be funny and all that?
Yeah.
You ever figured there's some people who just try to be funny for certain things? Like, I think am I the only one who just seems to be burned out on comedy?
It kind of... Well, what sort of comedy? Do you mean, like, Conker's Bad Fur Days, like, visceral comedy, or do you mean just more so, like, the fact that people saying, I'm making a joke about a game?
Kind of both. Like, just, like, everything tries to be comedy, like, on the internet especially. And even TV's, like, Cartoon Network. Nothing but pretty much just comedy shows and all that. I don't know, it just seems kind of...
I don't know. I think the thing of it is that, like, a lot of the people tend to mistake that references equal funny, which, again, is something that I used to do a lot in my early days as well, but again, it's something that I grew out of the fact that I learned that references on their own aren't funny unless, of course, people know what you're referencing, and even then, like... It's something that only a very niche few people would actually end up getting because of the fact that, again, like, even though the internet might perpetuate things and spread it far and wide across the world, not everybody's gonna get a whole, so how was your sex wife? I'm Tommy Wiseau joke,
Mm-hmm. That is something I know nothing about.
You're reading that fucking comic book, aren't you?
Yes.
That's exactly my point.
What? What point?
Yeah.
What point?
The one you said before about the fact that you didn't get the Tommy Wiseau reference, which, again, that's exactly what I mean. Like, if you don't get the reference, and you're not exactly getting the joke, and as a result, your humor kind of falls flat because of it.
And then you just go back to the comic because you don't know what the other person's talking about.
Yeah, exactly, you fucking comic book reader. I might as well just bring up Sonic Genesis and start reading, man.
We should. Anyway, I forgot. One thing with YouTubers, the big popular guys who are just now getting tons of flack, like Nostalgia Critic and AVGN?
The Nostalgia Critic always kind of had flack, although it wasn't until he started bringing in the whole, like, storyline skits and the, the whole bloody... I don't see the AVGN getting as much flack as he used to. I mean, aside from the fact that, he wasn't as good as he used to be. But for the nostalgia critic, it's really because of the massive shift in style that has a lot of fans divided, you know?
Yeah. Like, I like quite a bit of AVGN stuff, and I do actually like the guy himself. I think I am glad he did get to make a movie. You know what?
But
You there?
you know what? Since you're reading that fucking comic, I'm playing it Sonic Adventure 2.
Go right ahead. Oh wait, no, we'll get copyrighted for music.
Fuck you. Copyright can listen to Crush 40.
Okay.
But anyway, going back to
Well, if there's any way to get if there's any way to get into a copyright lawsuit, at least it'll be with Crush 40.
Yeah, actually, the one way to avoid copyright strikes that I found is to continue to talk over the music so that the copyright thing won't be able to pick it up. That's why I talk really fast. I'm gonna go fast, faster, rapping. Yeah.
So, with a lot of the popular YouTube users, it's crazy. Like, remember Smosh?
I've never seen Smosh, like, at all.
Like, I remembered, like, I don't watch too much of their stuff. Like, I remembered watching some of their video games are real. And then there was just all the drama that went when they were asking for money. Like, what do you think of e-begging?
I actually had a rant on that, like, back when I first started to continue to do rants in my current style. Like, I think it was more so for Kickstarters than anything else, but e-begging, in my opinion, is... I don't really see it as low, but I more so just see it as pathetic, honestly, because, like...
And it depends on how frequent it happens.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I mean, if fans want to see their, dreams be realised, more power to them, honestly, but I think it's something you should do more out of your own expense, if only for the love of your fans, as opposed to, just having to beg for money for them, just, because, well, we want to keep our money, but at the same time, you're making it happen. And the most they actually get out of it is a credit,
Yeah. Like, there's plenty of, like, I think a credit is, I've heard of a term called the Hobo Classic, which I don't know exactly what that is. Been a bit too lazy to look that up.
That sounds like a bloody club sandwich.
What?
That sounds like a club sandwich.
The Hobo Classic?
It does. Seriously, like, I mean, I could picture you getting that sort of thing at, like, Chicken Treat or something, which is a very unreputable restaurant in my area, which actually closed down recently, but anyway, back on topic.
I can't hear Crush 40, by the way.
Oh, gotta go talking, I'm just, playing through. And it's, Sonic's It Doesn't Matter theme song. I'm just kind of fucking around, really. Anyway, as you were saying.
What were we talking about?
I think we were talking about the clubs. I think we were talking about the Hobo Classic.
Like, it's about what you give to people who donate.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't like bringing up this guy a lot, like Amazing Atheist, but I did know he was involved with, like, a lot of scams to get people, like, for making websites. One was free speech vids, where he gets to control the free speech. And then Not Productive, which certainly lived up to its title.
Yeah, I can see why. But I just never had that sort of interest in, like, the Amazing Atheist. Like, even in my days of discovering ranters and all that sort of thing, like, I never really saw what that guy was really there for. Because I heard from a bunch of people that, he was bad. And, mind you, the rant community within itself is actually quite venomous towards one another. Like, even though a lot of them tend to be friends with each other. See I Must Destroy All and Undertaker Freak 1127's consistent drama/marriage.
Isn't that marriage in general?
Kinda. My power's failing. Yeah, anyway.
Mm-hmm. I'm hearing rings. Yeah.
That's because I was doing the Eggman boss fight with Tails.
Oh, nice. Back on big YouTubers, you know the whole thing with PewDiePie?
Oh, no.
Good, I don't watch him either.
I just never care for those sorts of, you know, face cam let's plays you do horror games. Like, oh my god, like seeing as I see.
Fun fact, from what I can tell, his oh, go on.
Seeing as we actually have the cam thing here, I'm actually, well, I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but I guess I'll just show you just purely for a reaction's sake. Like, it's pretty much gonna be like this. So I just got the grab for a second.
Okay, I can see it. I mean, the audience isn't gonna see it, so they'll feel left out.
Oh, sorry, viewers, you shouldn't put a face cam. Like, I mean, I'll bring the microphone up here. Like, it'd be like, oh my god, you guys, this is so scary.
It'd be like me doing this.
That's pretty much how it'd be.
Oh, it'd be like me doing this. Oh, hey, look at this in the comic. Look, there's an explosion and like a kick. Nah. Anyway, go on. So, so we were talking about, PewDiePie, you heard he was on South Park?
Yeah, I heard about that, actually.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention. South Park is a weird, like, love-hate show with me. There's...
South Park for me is on and off, because, like, there are times when you can actually make some, pretty profound, stop reading the fucking comic.
I'm listening. At least you're seeing what I'm doing.
Fair enough. I'm actually masturbating on the other end of this. Kidding.
Can I see it? So I can ignore that with the comic?
Holy shit. Oh god. This is what happens on Sundays.
For me, it's Saturday.
That's real. Oh fuck, I forgot the tangent I was gonna go on now. Shit.
Let's go on another one. PewDiePie comic tangent.
Actually, you know what I want to see? I want to see, like, this could probably make it for an interesting, like, video from you, but I could see you, like, maybe doing, like, a PewDiePie-esque reading of, like, the Archie comics, like, maybe just have a little bit of a camera thing going on with, like, you showing the comic book pages, like, hey, listen. It's exactly like that.
Hey, look, it's Shadow. He's awesome.
Hey, look, it's Rouge's tits. Ooh.
Yeah. A lot of those people who just scream into the camera, they wear. You ever heard of Mario to Plumber?
Oh, yes. He was, you know, back in the good old days of the early 2000s, back when I used to watch a lot of Melting Man 234 videos, yeah, he did, a lot of rants on Mario to Plumber.
Oh, that's actually how I found out about you, by the way. I remembered you did a commentary on his thing with the Archie comics.
Yeah, and that was also how we first met each other. We're explaining to the viewers' childhood and fucking history and shit. But, yeah,
The funny thing is, if I didn't, like, go... Oh, go ahead. Funny thing is, if I didn't end up watching that one video where you posted up the Dreamcast cutscenes, I probably wouldn't have watched you again.
Oh, I'm glad I did, actually.
Yeah.
I've actually been I was actually meaning to post all the Dreamcast cutscenes for a long time, but it's since, like, somebody else did them, like, I'm pretty sure they did them all, like, in one fucking take, and I was like, because, like, I'd already, like, uploaded the, parts 1 and 2 of the, hero side story, and then I did the dark side story, and then, like, some other guy just uploaded the rest of them, like, with the last story, and I was thinking, like, well, fuck, there goes my effort. The one time I felt special, and now I'm not.
Yeah.
Sniff, sob.
But hey, now we're making a video, so it certainly ended up with something, right?
Hell yeah. Just look at us now. Now we're, like, flashing images of bloody comics in a PewDiePie style.
Well, I'm just gonna put some game footage or something in front of this.
Then at the very least,
because it would just be, like, mostly just a dimly lit bedroom with me reading a comic, and you couldn't even really see it.
No, I could see it perfectly well.
I don't have the video up. Like, let me show you again.
Oh, shit.
Like, imagine this.
Okie dokie.
like just us talking with this image. Like I might be able to get.
Screen.
Yeah.
You only really did that for one though.
What?
Seems fairly okayish.
Anyway, got what I was talking about. Well.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point of these videos again, right? Just talking about stuff.
It is. Okay.
But yeah, what are things?
What to say?
Oh, you're kind of lagging a bit.
I am a robot. Beep boop beep boop. Okay, come through clear.
Okay, yeah, you're coming through clear. Remember when we were talking about franchises and all that, like how it can be hard to escape them?
Yeah.
What do you
what
think?
franchises do you mean, though?
Just like any kind of franchise that a person really likes, like they always kind of check up on news or look into it or just like try to get as many games in the series as they can, type of thing.
Essentially, collectors. Like, I mean, I'm the sort of person who'll really only collect the games in the franchise, you know, that either I'm A, really interested in, or B, that I really like. And I'm not going to be the sort of person, i.e. some call me Johnny, who needs to collect every game in the series, even though he has a clear hatred for it.
Even though, like, people like him and Retro Replay who are going to talk about every Sonic game, even though it's pretty clear there's only going to be so many that they like.
And I've never seen why people feel the need to own it purely for the collector's value. I mean, like, the only reason I bought 06 was really because of the fact that I wanted to see if it really lived up to how bad everything it was, and honestly, it really wasn't as bad as everybody said it was. I mean, storyline and, gameplay glitches, which even in the PS3 version that I owned, weren't really that often.
I had the 360 version and didn't really have too much of a... I mean, like, I encountered some dumb things, like, I hated the silver thing with the balls and all that, the pool table thing. Puzzle. Though the ball puzzle actually didn't get me as bad as others.
Yeah, for the ball puzzle, I usually just abuse the whole, like, phasing through the top of the door and then just heading into the goal ring glitch.
Mm-hmm. What do you think for franchises like when people go nuts about, things that have been around for a long time and then have multiple iterations and all that, like 2D Mario and 3D Mario and all that?
I'm not really too big of a Mario fan to really say, because, again, I hear stories of some people saying that Mario sucks because he's not the 8-bit Mario sprite. I don't know whether or not that's true, but...
Again, it's not...
I mean, honestly, when I look at Mario fans complaining about... Oh, go on.
Oh, like, people complaining about the 8-bit sprite, like, the way you worded that was kind of weird, like, you don't know if it's true, if it's bad, it was worded in the way where you were saying, like, you don't know if it's bad because it's not the 8-bit sprite.
Yeah, that's just a rumor I've heard from, like, some fans who tend to complain about it, and, honestly, when I look at Mario fans complaining about a game like Sunshine, I think it was really out of response to the fact that they didn't want Mario to go the route of Sonic, and in that sense, having a storyline, deeper than Mario sings with the princess and gets the pizza. Woohoo!
Though admittedly, Bowser's voice in that game was pretty poor.
It kind of makes me wonder, like... Oh, sorry, what was that?
I just said Bowser's voice in that game was pretty poor.
Yeah. But though it does kind of make me wonder, like, where Mario would have ended up had he gone, the Sonic route of having, like, a storyline in a more defined setting, like... say, for example, like, we actually have levels take place in, like, Brooklyn, for example. Or if they were to ever expand the world of Mario in general,
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of those random ideas that kind of pop into my head every now and again, like... Because, I mean... I don't know, like, I wonder how Mario would have gone with a more... I don't exactly know what sort of storyline would have had, like, maybe they could have gone back to the whole black magic thing with turning toads into bricks, I suppose, like, from the manual of Mario 1, but... It's just something that kind of intrigues me, I guess.
I think one interesting thing with, like, going, like, back to the beginning and all that is how certain ideas could have been canned or all that, or just how later things pretty much give a certain impression.
Yeah. Well, I still think the deepest storyline a Mario game has ever had was probably from a Galaxy.
Fun fact, Miyamoto was against it having a story.
I don't see why Miyamoto was so against it, honestly. I know he's relatively anti-storyline for a lot of his games, but I don't see why, Because, like, I think Nintendo, like, I mean, for as much shit as I give them for not really doing anything different with their franchises, I think when they, and the few times that they do, they can actually pull off some pretty interesting stuff. And honestly, it's part of the reason why I like Sega so much, because of the fact that, I mean, even though a lot of their ideas might not be executed well, a lot of their innovations are actually quite well ahead of their time, because, like, the Sega Saturn, actually, after doing a bit of research, it actually had, and again, I'm pretty sure I don't own it.
I think you're lagging.
Sega Saturn web browsing, apparently. Oh.
The entire information was lagged. Whoa. Oh, that was...
That was the video, or was it,
Like, it lagged all that information that you were giving about the Saturn.
I think it's because your computer is a Nintendo fan and it just doesn't want to hear it.
No, it missed, like, what you're getting about the Saturn.
Going back to... Yeah. Well, anyway, just getting back to it. The thing about the Saturn is that apparently it had like an online function, like it had web browsing apparently, and it also had a lot of those features that are kind of present in a lot of modern game consoles. But this was way back in, like, when the Saturn was created. I think back in 1994 or 5 or something like that. And that's just one of those little innovations that, you know, kind of make me appreciate Sega a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, you know, even the... Oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, I was just noticing we're getting a lot of time clocked in now.
What time are we at?
26 minutes, 50 seconds.
Holy hell. You want to keep going, or...
Oh, yeah. Finish your thought, and then we can stop there.
Sorry?
Oh, you can finish your thought, and then we'll stop there.
Yeah, well, I guess the last thing I really want to say is that, like, I mean, like, whenever Nintendo does try something a little bit different, I think for the most part it usually just tends to be something that's been done before. Cough, cough, mad space for Super Mario Galaxy. It's, you know, whenever they do something different, like for any of their franchises, like, you know, Zelda or Mario or anything, usually they can pull off something pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
I think they should take a few more risks, actually. One with the Master Emerald.
Well, I guess that'll be it. You all will... Goodbye, Skully. We might do another one of these sometimes. I've enjoyed making these. And we'll see you another time.